we're fanning that in the flame. I help her out with it. I do the sort of the production, post-production, editing stuff with it. And that's who we are. We are creatives. We're storytellers, and we bring people in and shelter them and tell them stories and help them find their own story. That's not a very good answer to what you asked, but it's the closest I got.
No, I love it. I think that's it's leading me. So we finally built some solid core values as a family, and we've got them.
Nice.
I put them on canvas, and they're sitting above our dinner table, and we get to talk about them every week and like give examples of who did what over the past week. And it's been a lot of fun to be able to kind of like highlight that. And you have to highlight somebody else. Can't highlight yourself, but highlight somebody else and how you saw one of our core values in that. But I really, as you're talking about that, I need to sit down and like, what is our vision as a family and what is our mission as a family? That's not something that we've really done, because right now it's always been, wherever the military places us is kind of what we do, and we're about to embark on this whole new world of we get to do what we want now. But I want to bring them in and say, like, does this activity that we're doing line up with our core values as a family? And now to bring in the vision and mission as well. Like, is this in line with what our vision is as a family? Is this aligned with what our mission is as a family? I want to make sure that we we got some company.
I do. Let me show you this sweet little girl. This is Mercy Faye. This is my youngest.
Hi,
I don't
Mercy.
think she can tell you what our core values are, but they are on the whiteboard.
Nice.
She has a tape measure.
What do you have?
She's very proud.
You got your tape measure? That's awesome. That is awesome.
What did you ask me, sweetie?
I'm gonna leave soon.
Oh, where are you going?
Dentist.
Oh, okay. Do I need to do anything? Okay, you just want to hug me? Oh, I've been missing you today. We'll have to hang out when you get back, okay? We got all night. Nowhere to go. Love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. She just had to say hi to me before she went to the dentist.
Of course. I always warn people, and I didn't warn you because we with both of us having internet problems. And I'll say this now: we're going to have a 2.0 because you're going to have to jump here in a minute. But we're going to have to continue this and have a 2.0. We had a late start, so it's a little bit shorter than normal. But my kids almost always come in. There have been episodes where all three of them are like on top of my head, and it's just it goes insane sometimes. But where I have to have a conversation after, I'm like, I don't mind that you guys come on, but I still got to be able to talk, like, just so you guys know.
Well, hey, when we do this again, let's try to tackle a question. Like we can tackle multiple questions, and we obviously will. Mm-hmm. But maybe one of the things we can try to tackle is like, is it possible to build a business? And when I mean a business, I mean build a company. Like it's not just us, It's not just I manage some properties or whatever. But with multiple like employees, like a larger scale of business, and have your kids doing their homework, ostensibly running in and out of the boardroom. Can you build the business in which your daughter can run into the boardroom while you're having a meeting and tell you she's going to the dentist and give you a hug and kiss? Because that doesn't exist for a lot of people.
Yeah.
They're in this very sanitized, fragmented environment, and then they're not even, especially when you get down to the lower income. If you're in the service industry, you probably have a harder time making it to Sunday morning worship, right? Mm-hmm. What's it mean to build a business where like both of those can occur, can be good?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, we'll definitely. I can talk about that for hours, but like I said, you've got 10 minutes before your next call, so let me go ahead and kind of wrap it up for here. I really don't want this to be done, but I will have to immediately get something else on the books to be able to kind of continue this out. But
let's do it.
Keith, it was awesome being able to chat with you for a little while. I'm looking forward to 2.0, and I'm sure everybody listening is also going to be looking forward to 2.0 when that comes out. But if people want to reach out to you, learn more about who you are, learn more about what you got going on, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you, Keith?
Yeah, so in terms of like our podcast and website, it's called the Stay at Work Home, which is not stay at home work. It's the Stay at Work Home. Get it? Anyway, that's kind of a new thing. The fire got lit under my butt to go ahead and get that going because I have recorded, though has not been released. I was on the 1,000 Hours Outside podcast, which is pretty huge. It was like, we got to do this thing we've been talking about so that we can, capitalize on being there. And then I was like, I'm going to be on Adam's podcast. I better get it going because he's huge.
Yeah, that's what I am. Yeah.
But and then on the business side, heartlandbunkies.com is where our cabin kits are. And, our pitch on that is like, there's very few investments where making a 50% annual ROI is considered failure. But that's where we're at on our short-term rentals with these little cabins. But that's not really it. For most people, it's just extra space, right? It's so that they can have the grandparents over or the grandkids over without cramming the house full and making people not want to be there. And then obviously you can do the project as a family. And so you build memories together building it, and then you build memories together using it, staying in it, right?
Yeah. I love it.
So HarleyandBunkies.com. Check out our kits. Give me a call. And we're also kicking off a short-term rental class. It's not really a class, it's a series of webinars. We only have the first, the 101 thing scheduled, but that really dovetails into both businesses. Actually, we're feeding it from both businesses because it's something that families can do very, it's one of the most easily attainable things for families to make that jump to be doing something that's productive and unified, setting them up for financial independence.
I absolutely love it. I'm looking forward to again, I'm imagining building already 3 or 4 of these things on a 100-acre forest and inviting everybody over that I can. I love having people over. I like it. I love having the house cramped, but I'll put a few of these out on the lot for sure. So we'll have all of that information in the show notes. Again, thank you, Keith. Thank you, everybody who's been hanging out listening to this. Please be on the lookout for Keith Phillips 2.0 when that episode drops as well. But again, thank you, everybody, and we will see everybody on the next show.
Thank you so much for listening to the Biz Dad Podcast.